Welcome to another installment of the Academy Sports Show right here on Facebook and YouTube and every platform that you watch your sports shows other than cable. This is the Academy Sports Show. I'm your host, Andre Douglas, man. Next to me is Joe Williams, and we appreciate you. We appreciate you joining us. We got some great topics today that Joel will run through. But first, we want to make sure that you subscribe to all our pages, man, both IG, Facebook, and especially the YouTube page. YouTube page is the most important to us because that is the page that helps you interact with us while we do the show. We can see your comments live. We can put them up live. And if you're feeling froggy, if you feel some type of way, we can definitely bring you on the show as well. It's nothing but a link to us, and you can come on the show and talk your piece. We've had several people come on and do that. So we appreciate you. Thank you very much. What's going on, Darren? Hey, we appreciate you guys. We got a lot in store, a lot intact today. But first, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joe Williams.
Nah. We not gonna do that. You caught me off guard right there. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. As you know, it's Monday in the D. It's so cold in the D. And okay. It's Monday in the D. It's your sports show's favorite sports show. You heard the man. We got a lot to talk about. We're gonna get right to it. College football playoffs. I got some people back home that are pretty happy.
Looking kind of good.
Looking good. Monday night, January 11th, the Ohio State University versus Alabama. We'll talk about it. Some people feel like it was an upset. Some people feel like it wasn't. We'll give you our 2 cents. Plus, we're going to make our predictions tonight, so that way we don't have to be up against the clock next week.
You know,
when the game comes on. Also, the NFL playoffs are upon us. It was a big weekend. Winning your in. What happened? Uh-oh. You there? You frozen on my screen.
Yeah.
There you are.
Yeah, you froze on my.
You're back. It was a big weekend. It was a winning your in weekend. Some teams won and some teams didn't.
What team won?
This is for you. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. We're back in the playoffs, baby. We're going to talk about the whole situation. It's a big. Sorry, Darren, I can't do the other part of that OH chant. That is a Buckeye chant. I'm a Michigan alum. But I see you representing, so we're going to throw you out there. Now, however, a lot of other games going on. We got a big weekend coming up. Number 1 seeds are set. 2 through 7 are set. Interesting matchups. We're going to give you our take on those games. Talk about last week's games. And then we got a couple honorable mentions for you in the NBA. NBA is going. It's just kind of going. If you've been watching, you maybe enjoy all the offense. I don't know. We'll see. But we got a couple honorable mentions for you. So we're going to get right into it. Got a quick show for you today. As always, make sure you comment in the feed. Let us know you're here. Let us know what you got to say. We'll post it up on the screen. We love to hear from you. Always love to hear from you. Get your opinions on things. Dre, I'm ready. You ready?
I'm ready. Hey, make sure if you're in the feed right now, the best thing you can do to help the show grow is to share. So if you're on Facebook right now, just hit the share feed to your followers or to your family. Tell them this is the sports show they need to comment on because we're about to talk about their favorite team. Or if you're watching on YouTube right now, just share it to any social media platform that all your favorite sports buddies are on, Twitter, IG, or Facebook, however you want to do it. Just share because we want more people in here. And let's discuss this. Starting off first with college football. The championship game is now set. Alabama versus the 11th ranked team, Ohio State.
Shade. Petty.
Notre Dame. They are who we thought they were. Right? I mean, and to your point last week, who else would have it been? It would have probably been the same outcome. Same thing. So Alabama running on all cylinders. Their 4-foot wide receiver put in work, and it was a wrap from there. So no need to recap that one. But the one that caught everybody's attention, Clemson and Ohio State. We both picked Clemson. Yours a little wider, mine was a little shorter. My gut told me to stick with Ohio State, but you know I love me some Trevor Lawrence. I love me some Trevor Lawrence. But it was not close. You were correct, but just the wrong team.
Wrong team.
Ohio State killed them. They killed them. The deep ball was their kryptonite in that game, and Justin Fields took a humongous hit, got back in the game, and kept slinging them. So shout out to Ohio State, Big Ten representation going into the college football championship. Talk a little bit about Ohio State's win, and then we can talk about their matchup against Alabama.
So like you said, surprise, surprise, right? So the ability for Ohio State to run and throw, both. It wasn't one or the other. It was the ability to run the ball and throw the ball against Clemson. And this wasn't even a keep Trevor Lawrence off the field type game. Like, they just dominated him. Mm-hmm. Trevor Lawrence and the offense came on the field and still couldn't do anything against Ohio State's defense. And this is probably easy to blame. And I'm probably just being cliche by doing this, but Dabo, next time just be quiet. Like, just zip it. Like, the first time they put it out there and you said and you put them 11 and you said your piece. This is why I did it. It's my poll. There you go.
Right.
But then you just kept talking about it. You kept bringing it up. You kept taking the bait. They kept asking you. The bait. And you kept answering. And now you sitting at home watching the game with us.
Look at you. And now look at you.
Right. So when it's all said and done, I think Justin Fields played himself. I personally didn't think he was not the second best quarterback in this draft, but to some, he played himself back into the second spot in the draft. Sermon showed up and ran the ball like they needed him to. Oh, yeah. So we talked about the fact that the J.K. Dobbins piece missing seemed like that was this team's issue this year. They couldn't run the ball like they could in the past. They ran the ball all over Clemson. And then Olave and the rest of the crew, wide receivers, they overmatched Clemson.
Them boys run track in all season.
Exactly. So it's interesting to see. Now we have that versus Alabama, who, as you said, they demoralized Notre Dame. And I thought Notre Dame was going to at least play a little tougher. But to us, the future Heisman Trophy winner looks like he's 4'10", but apparently he's 6-something, and he's really good.
He looks tiny. Darren says Browns are going to get the doggone thing. We getting there, brother. Roll Tide. Kobe said, how are Ohio QBs doing in the league? Asking for myself. I hope that young man, Mr. Fields, breaks the whole curse. I hope he does too. I've never watched a game and found myself rooting for Ohio State. Like, boom, put him on him again. Come on, just boom, put him on him again. Like bang, do another one. So, and I'm the biggest Trevor Lawrence fan there is. But I did want to see him win, you know. Shout out to my brother. At the end of the day, you got to rock with what you rock with. And
quietly.
Right, quietly. So he did his thing, and I hope that continues into Monday. I hope this game is very competitive. I hope that it doesn't lean one way or the other. I hope it's tit for tat. The beginning of that game, up until it was about 21-14 Ohio State, we was looking at each other like, hey, this is a game. Like, they went back and forth. So Ohio State isn't backing down. They had, my man had that run, that like 20, 30-yard run. I was like, okay, they keeping up. And then the topic came off. So Justin Fields, man, getting that hyperbaric chamber all week and heal those ribs because your team is going to need you. Overhit, and he kept going. On Twitter, they were talking about how, they were asking him, like, when you went in the tent, like, did they tell you what was wrong? And, the extent of your injuries, he was like, nah, they just gave me some shots and took me back out. And Twitter took that to task. It was like, I did not go tell this young man about his body, just doping him up and putting him back on the field and stuff like that. So I was like, I'm pretty sure his next press conference, he's going to have to clarify that statement. Yeah. So, but going into that game on Monday, man, I'm leaning towards Ohio State. I love what they did. I don't know if there's a DB on that team that can handle the future Heisman Trophy winner, or is he the current Heisman Trophy winner? Did they already give it to him yet?
What's Heisman Trophy ceremony is tomorrow?
Okay, so the future Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, right.
I wanna lean towards Ohio State, but it's Bama. The last time I picked against Bama, I was right though with Clemson. I don't feel as confident in this.
So is that a pick, or is that just how you feel right now? Because are you making your pick now, or are you just giving your feelings? Because I can give my feelings, and then we can make picks. Like, how you want to do this?
For the sake of time, I'm gonna just go ahead and pick Ohio State.
You just said wait. You said you weren't confident about picking Ohio State.
I'm not, but you pressing me, so I'm gonna go ahead and make a pick. Okay, listen, I ain't no punk. You understand me? You want me to pick, I'm gonna pick.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Kobe says, I think this will be the best championship 2020 could offer, no doubt. Darren says, you're right. The Irish are who we thought they were. Glad Bama stopped them. Don't care for them anyway.
They should not be allowed anymore. They should, no matter who they beat, no matter who they play, they should not be allowed in the college football play. They're not ready. They never have been ready. They always
They're never going to be ready.
They're never going to be ready. They're not that team.
I think it's tough. Well, I think that's a different argument for another day, like next year if they're there again. But this game is tricky. I mean, if you match it up, right, quarterback, I would lean Justin Fields. Running back, I would lean Alabama. Wide receivers, I would lean Ohio State, but the best wide receiver on the field plays for Alabama. I think the wide receiver group, I would lean Ohio State. O-line, push. D-line, push. I mean, if you go defense as a whole, probably push. So, I thought you were going to pick Bama. So I thought I was going to be making like some bold, like big time prediction tonight. But I see I've seemed to force you to pick Ohio State. Yes, Kobe, you're right. Yes, Kobe, you're right. We almost had Najee in Ann Arbor. For his sake, I'm that kind of thankful we didn't. It's hard for me to pick Ohio State because they're Ohio State. But then at the same time, we're in Big Ten country, so we're supposed to root Big Ten. But if there's one thing I love to see Bama get beat.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I enjoy watching them get challenged and getting beat. That's just part of being not Bama. If you're anybody but Bama and they're always on top, you kind of enjoy when they fall, which is a cynical way to look at it. So I'm with you. I'm picking Ohio State in this game.
Ooh. Two Michigan fans picking Ohio State.
Yeah. Score? I think this comes down to the wire. Late touchdown, Ohio State. Ohio State wins 37-34. I don't think either defense is going to have anything to say in this game. I think it's going to come down to who has the ball last. So Ohio State 37-34.
You think Mac is better than Fields? Going back to that point you made.
No, I think Justin Fields has the edge over Mac. I don't believe in Mac being a Heisman candidate. I think he benefited from being on Bama.
Okay.
I think
I thought you gave them the quarterback edge.
I think Justin Fields is a quarterback, is a Heisman candidate if he plays a whole 9 or 10 games. Kobe said, I can't pick Ohio, can't do it. I get it. I'm going with Ohio State in this game. I'm not going to sit there and openly root for them. And I'm an Ohio boy, but I can't do it. So put it in. What do you think? Kobe says, 37-24 Bama.
Now, if you have like a Bama blowout score, that's how much on the fence I am on that. Like, okay, I can understand like, because it's Alabama, right? Once they get rolling, it's kind of hard to stop that train, offensively and defensively. But I think both of these teams are at that point where they're not of old, right? This isn't a normal Ohio State team. This isn't a normal Alabama team, even though they have a dominant wide receiver on there. So you look at everything being even, right? Coaching, defense, running game. One has a Heisman Trophy winner and the other one doesn't. So, but unfortunately, in this situation, the Heisman Trophy winner isn't the quarterback. And I think that's a bigger swing than it being the receiver.
Right, assuming the receiver wins.
Right.
Assuming Deontay Smith wins the Heisman. Yeah.
So that's I'm going to lean towards Ohio State because I don't want to pick Alabama. I don't know. I can't give you a definite reason to go, okay, I see why you picked me. I don't have a definite reason. I just have what my gut's telling me. And I didn't go with my gut last week, so I'm going to go with my gut this week, and I'm just going to pick Ohio State.
Okay. Kobe said Northwestern shut Ohio down first half. No one has shut Bama down. Ohio will start slow. That will be the determining factor.
Oh, I mean, for first 3 or 4 possessions, Ohio State scored touchdowns against Clemson.
Yeah, Northwestern did that, and I guess we'll give their defense that credit. But they also did that minus. They were playing an Ohio State team that's minus like 25 players. Like what you saw this past weekend against Clemson was a fully staffed Ohio State Buckeye football team.
Mm.
So I would argue, to Kobe's point, it's a good one, good comparison, but I would argue that at full strength for Ohio State, they just beat who many believe was the second best team in the country. If you ask anybody what the rankings were, right, 1 through 3, were they right? Everybody would agree. And the debate would be over Ohio State, not over Clemson being at number 2. The debate would be, did Ohio State deserve number 3? And that was because we didn't see it fully, but we kind of knew it was always there. Let's call it what it is, how they got in, right? They just showed us that's to your point at the beginning about Notre Dame, Ohio State is who we think they are. Yep. So I get it. I get the Northwestern comparison, good defense, but you got a full squad this past weekend, and they put it on Clemson. They didn't just beat them.
Yep.
They popped them real good. 38-23, Bama over O State.
I ain't mad at it.
I get it.
I
just feel like Ohio State can score. Ohio State can score against Bama.
Yeah, I trust Justin Fields, the quarterback. If they get behind on the sticks, I trust him to make the throw. I trust him to use his legs. He's a smart guy. He usually makes the right decision. His resume shows he doesn't turn the ball over.
Right.
He does well with protecting the football. It's really, like you were saying in the beginning, just a run game. In a run game, get positive yardage on first and second down, so where it's not 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, where he got to push the ball down the field. So and you got to play offense to play defense, right? Keep running the ball, keep Alabama off the field, and just pace yourself and just keep putting up points. You can't have a possession where you go 3-0. You can't have a possession, when they're scoring touchdowns, you're scoring field goals. So they just got to keep putting points on the board, and they showed you this week that they can put points on the board. So the same way that Alabama got to play over the top for Olave, Ohio State has to play over the top too for Smith. So it's the same thing. They both playing the same defense. So there's going to be less guys in the box on both ends.
Yeah, Leonardo points out he thinks second half adjustments do it for Bama. So they're known, right, for going in the locker room and coming out and pulling away in games. I have a feeling the game that I'm reminded of that I feel like this might be is, remember Bama Clemson, the year Clemson beat them?
Mm-hmm.
Now that kind of happened like an avalanche, right? Clemson, like defensively, I think Tua threw like 2 picks in a row or something. It happened real fast. I don't see that, but I feel like a lot of people feel like Bama is by far and away the best team this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's got a little 2020 in it.
Still,
Yeah,
circle left.
Yep, and I think it's because people are not giving Ohio State credit for all the right reasons.
Right.
Because they didn't see it. But I think you should take more from what you just saw them do to Clemson than what people are taking from it.
Correct.
That's probably that team that you know them to be, and that team looks good enough to beat Alabama to me.
Yeah.
Opinion, there it is. I'm the only one here willing to give a score. I'm going 37-34 Ohio State.
I don't know a particular score, but I'll go Ohio State by 3. I'll go the score will probably be in the 30s, and I'll give Ohio State by 3.
Yeah, Kobe just pointed out Darren moved his score by 1 point on each side. Darren said 23 and Kobe said 37-24.
Okay.
It'll be fun. Monday night.
Yeah, that's going to be definitely a fun game, and hope both of the teams perform because this is a culmination of a tumultuous season of games missed and players opting out and stuff like that. So just put a good cherry on this season and going into next season. We'll hopefully all this stuff will be less than what it is. So
hopefully
these guys put on a show. Another funny thing I saw somebody on Facebook was like, after they watched that game, it was like, man, Ohio State's gonna put 150 on Michigan. If they played, Ohio State was putting 150 on Michigan. Dodged a bullet, sir. Dodged
100%.
Dodged an embarrassing moment.
100%. 100%. It would have been scary.
It would have been scary.
I would have hated it.
All right, so let's do the honorable mentions for the NBA. Not a lot to go off NBA. It's brand new season. Teams are filling themselves out. As Joel said, there's not a lot of defense being played in these games.
I'm annoyed by the NBA right now.
So not a lot to evaluate at this point, but just some honorable mentions, man. Steph Curry, 62-point game against the Trailblazers. Really lets you know there's no defense to be played because he's the only person on that team. And he was just jacking up threes, and they were letting him jack up threes. Like, no pride in this game, huh? You just gonna take to 62? And they're up 20, and he's still jacking up threes just to get to 62. So, anything on that?
I mean, he scored 31 points in each half, from what I read. The thing you said it. I'm not watching it. I'm sorry. I have not. Every time I turn it on, any game that I turn on, the game is like literally is like 150 to 151. I can't. Can somebody play some defense?
Oh man,
please.
I don't think it's gonna be happening anytime.
Kobe, you just want the Warriors to make the playoffs so you could look like a psychic or something.
They got a lot of work to do.
They're 3-3 and they're like currently 6th in the West.
They needed that little East Coast trip to get back to. If you want to get back to 500, play the Pistons.
Well, apparently the Celtics need a buzzer beater to win against them. See what I mean?
Yeah. Dabo definitely had to eat crow after that. I don't feel sorry for him because he, as coaches, just like keep that talk between your coaches circle.
Just be quiet.
That's like us going on Facebook and talking mad trash about the next opponent. Like you gassing them up. Like you
quiet.
And they gonna give you that energy back.
Our nephews be like, yeah, man, they were talking mad crazy on Twitter. They were talking mad. And I'm like, in high school they are? Be quiet.
Be quiet. Just be quiet. Because they will in a second let you hold that in.
Yes.
Another honorable mention, shout out to both Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant for both missing the go-ahead shot against Russell Westbrook's Washington Wizards. If you remember, Kyrie Irving said he's finally on the team with somebody that he knows can knock down that game-winning shot just like him. Both of them had a wide-open shot. Neither one of them make it. Hold that L.
If we had a little Kermit the Frog, like, we could put up right now, that'd be perfect. Because I'm sure LeBron is just How's that going for you?
Oh man.
Wait a minute. We got a little. We love our folks in the chat. What we got? I know y'all on basketball. I just saw something NFL related. Wanted to hear your opinion.
Throw it up there.
Throw it out there, Darren. We got you.
Throw it up there. Yeah, the NBA is dry this week. We gonna pivot over to the NFL and these playoff games.
We're just doing some honorable mentions.
Yeah, and I think that was it. Like to be honest with you, I just wanted to shade the Nets in that moment.
And still no basketball, no defense.
Defense.
That's my issue. Nobody's playing defense. We'll call it what it is. No preseason. Teams are losing. But I'm not about to get caught up in the story about the Nets being under 500 and all that. Whatever.
Yeah, they still got to figure it out. No Dinwiddie, so now you really got to figure it out.
Yeah.
And the 76ers are number one in the East, so you know that's not going to last too long. So.
And I think the Cavs are about 500 too.
Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to one of our faithful listeners and commenters. He beat me in the toilet bowl, toilet bowl league or toilet bowl fantasy game of our league in the consolation bracket. Congratulations! Shout out to Kobe in fantasy football. See,
congratulations.
No respecter person. I gave you your love. Durant's got COVID. Does he really? Is that breaking news? Is Kobe breaking news for us?
Oh, it's fine. Come on, internet. Come on, bro. That's not what I wanted.
Kevin Durant will quarantine, miss 4 games over the next 7 days after exposure. He has exposure.
No, he doesn't have it. He was around somebody that had it.
Yeah, he's around somebody that has it.
Well,
and there you go. 2020. That wraps up our NBA talk. KD's
where we live in.
The Nets are going to be 5 games under 500 next time he comes back.
Yeah, and I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody that participated in the fantasy football league. Definitely want to do it again next year, and make some tweaks. And then next year, hopefully, we can play for bread again. Because I didn't want to do it this year for bread because of COVID. So.
Right.
All right. Let's see. Which one's out of Philly? Darren says. Listen, is Jalen Hurts their future? Right? I don't know. It's just a small sample size for me. I feel like there has been situations like these before where the backup comes in and balls and you pull the trigger on him too soon and he ends up not being the guy.
Right.
But from all things that come from Wentz's camp about his immaturity, his lack of leadership, and his body language in the locker room and on the practice field, that's somebody you don't want in your locker room. That's somebody who was entitled from the get-go and doesn't know how to work for their job in a certain spot. There's a guy that was drafted 2nd overall, went straight to the starting spot, had great success, got hurt, and just lost it. Like, he lost it. And he doesn't want to put in the work to figure out how to get it back again. And now putting all that on his coach. Coach had to make a decision. And he benched your ass. And he should have benched you. Because they're trying to make a playoff push. He should have benched you long before that. He took y'all way out of the playoff push before Jalen got a chance to do that. So you should extend him grace for that. But now you want to be like that. That relationship is unrepairable. So now you want out of Philly. Don't nobody want you, Carson Wentz. Don't nobody want that contract. So next season he'll be on Philly, and they'll figure some roundabout way to make him the starter so he can play himself back into form. So unfortunately, I think Jalen Hurts is going to get screwed in this.
I hope he doesn't. But I think that is the perfect scenario because the Eagles have to find value for Carson Wentz on out in the world of the NFL to get him traded. because there are teams that will take a retread of a quarterback of his caliber. I think, to your point, you find out about character with these guys when the really, really bad happens. In this case, when you get benched. And it was interesting because prior to him getting benched, when he was just playing poorly, he was trying to take the high road every time. Hey, we want to get this fixed, working my butt off. We're working. We're all those things. And then immediately he goes to the bench, and immediately now his camp is like he wants out. He wants out. The relationship is severed. I think he's to blame, but I also blame the coach. And the reason being is because you're going to get the half of the story, and most times that is the most volatile half. So it's easy for the narrative to be Carson Wentz because Carson Wentz is doing most of the talking. While his coach is just making the normal coach speak at the podium, taking all the shots for doing stupid stuff and just letting it be. But there's a reason why somebody wants out. It's not one-sided. I don't know if Peterson and Wentz really work well together. They have in the past. Wentz always gets hurt. Another quarterback comes in, takes him to the promised land. Is that just Wentz? No, I think Peterson has something to do with it. Somebody's not adjusting. Somebody's not fixing something. There's definitely something broken, but it seems like we got two egos that don't want to settle this and get it fixed. So somebody's got to go. And obviously, it's not going to be Doug Peterson. It's going to be a quarterback. So
I don't know. You don't think it's easier to let the coach go than to try to figure it out with the player if you're the owner?
It is if you look at it from a contract standpoint, but you look interesting to many if you fire a Super Bowl winning coach who could just need a reboot of players. There's a couple of issues working here. Leonardo just pointed it out too. Frank Reich was the offensive coordinator. Okay, so OC's gone. Mm-hmm. They're always hurt. Like all of their skills are hurt every year.
Yeah, every year.
Every year. It's like when he is healthy, he'll have a couple weapons and then they'll go down and then he gets hurt. But then when he's not healthy, then his weapons are back and healthy and another quarterback takes them somewhere far.
Yep.
So that never seems to marry well. The other part of that is schematically, does this make sense? Like I thought some of those games this year, I questioned Peterson's play calling. Mm-hmm. Like, he didn't feel like he was putting Carson Wentz in the best position to be successful. So, I think the final situation here is, like you said, his contract sucks. So trading is going to be dang near impossible.
Yeah, I just looked it up. It's a $35 million cap hit in dead money if they trade him.
Oh my God! So
that's almost a 30-year cap. That's not even
really, really bad though. You can afford it if you're Jeff Lurie, you'll make the move. If it's really bad and he's just got to go. Because you can't afford to have that in your locker room either when you got Jalen Hurts, who if you really believe in him and you want him to develop, you can't have Carson Wentz sitting there.
Yeah, two guys that think they can be the starter both in your quarterback room.
Exactly. So he didn't dress yesterday. I thought that was a sign of things to come. Where he's not even the backup or the backup to the backup. Like he wore no strings yesterday. He was the headset guy with pullover on.
Right.
You got to make a move. And I think if I'm Philadelphia, you're probably going to that move is probably going to be Carson Wentz is out of town. In the NFL, they can cut people just like that. And you're going to pay that money. And you're going to have to ride with Jalen Hurts. I don't know if Jalen Hurts is the answer, though. I don't feel like the system fits him either, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think in that scenario they're going to hold Jalen Hurts hostage, and he'll have to prove himself again next year.
It's going to suck.
And they should definitely get Hard Knocks next year. But they probably won't because they're going to have a new coach. I think you kill Peterson. At this point, if you're the owner, that's your second overall pick. You paid him a ton of money. You got to believe in him somehow. And getting a new guy in there to help rehabilitate his career might help. So, if they cater to him like that on some James Harden stuff, I don't expect them to stop catering to him.
Yeah. If he wants out to something else has gone on, if he's going to come out and say that, you don't really want to play for this guy anymore. That's a bad locker room situation.
Yeah.
I got to go out here and put my body on the line, and my starting quarterback doesn't even want to be here.
Yep. Well, all right. Appreciate you guys, man. Who's that? Darren, appreciate the category, man. Appreciate it. Kobe, that game last night was hot garbage, bro.
Yes, it was.
It was bad. All right, so let's talk about the culmination of these games. Like you said, a lot of you win your ends, a lot of you lose. You need these other teams to win and lose and stuff like that. And now the field is set. All right, they're calling it Super Wild Card Weekend.
Ooh, boy.
We got 3 games in each conference, 1 team on each conference. The number 1 overall seed sits out. In the NFC, it is the Green Bay Packers, the number 1 overall seed team. Green 18. And on the AFC side, it is the Kansas City Chiefs. Why? Right. 2 of the best cadences in the NFL. They're both sitting out week 1, so no Green Bay, no Kansas City. And this week is all wild card teams. And I'm just gonna start with the home team first. I'm just going straight to the AFC. I'm going straight to Cleveland and Pittsburgh, sir. I don't want you to have to wait any longer. I want your jubilance. I just want you to exude it, sir. Just Cleveland is in the playoffs.
18 years. 18 long years, people. You have no idea. The only people that can relate, all right, and Leonardo just brought up a great question. We need to answer that before. I think we were gonna touch on that. 18 years. Unless you're a Lions fan, you have no idea what this means, because you guys have the pain and the agony that we suffer. 18 years. To be a Cleveland sports fan means you are a fan of teams that are a part of these long, dreadful streaks of just disaster. 2 words associate with my city: the drive, the fumble. It's been 54 years since you won this, and 18 years since, and the laughing stock of the league, 22 quarterbacks. It's just all these stories. And finally, Cleveland! Dramatic pause.
Are you afraid? Are you frozen?
Finally, all I wanted was this. This is all I asked for. If you go back and listen to the shows, all I asked for: make the playoffs. Just make the. We almost blew it. I had to sit through a week of talk. They should have beat the Jets. Why did you run the ball 53 times? Throw the ball 53 times. Here's why. Because we're Cleveland. This is what we do. We make it hard. It's never easy for us. But that makes us who we are. Let's go. We're in, baby. I'm happy to be here. And that's it. I'm happy to be here. I don't care what happens after this. I'm happy to be here.
All right. You made it, Doc. You made it. And that's all you wanted, because you losing this week. Quick hitter. Leonardo said, if you're Eric Bieniemy, which job would you take? It looks like he's already lined up to take the Texans job. So Deshaun Watson already came out and told his people that that's the guy that he wanted. So if you're Houston, you go get the guy that Deshaun Watson wants. He wants to be Patrick Mahomes too. So if you feel like this guy groomed Patrick Mahomes, then he can do the same thing for me. So
yeah, I agree. But actually, I agree with that. If you're Eric Bieniemy, which job would you with the ones that are on the table? That's the one I would take. I wouldn't go to Jacksonville, but I get the draw there, right? Number 1 pick. I would go somewhere that's got somebody established that you can flip into a greater player. You just got to hope you get married to a GM down there that gets you other players, because historically Bill O'Brien traded everybody away for Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson still led the league in passing. So yes.
Yep. So I think that's his inevitable destination. Darren said, "Hey, I realize it's been a year since we lost Kobe and his daughter." Yeah, next month, right? That was in February.
Oh, January, into January.
January. Yep. Don't want to relive that.
Nope.
Never thought Cleveland and Detroit had so many similarities. Leonardo says Steelers. P.S. After Joe's moment, was that Stafford's last game in Detroit? It should be. Huh?
I feel like it should be as well, but he has a cap hit on the team too.
It should be his last game.
Should.
I feel like you need to honor him because he does have every passing record. He was a warrior for you.
Right.
And you didn't really help him out on the offensive line in the run game for more than half of his years here. So honor that man and let him go where he wants to go.
Let him go to New England. I love to see
that. Don't let him suffer through another rebuild.
Yep, I agree.
Kobe said Jacksonville has a huge cap space on the upside. The only thing about Jacksonville is you hear that front office is horrible.
Right.
Like every vet that left there, yeah, they just fired the coach, but he's going to be promoted to the front office.
Pure speculation.
But like every vet that left there said they hate the front office. Yeah. So you can't really trust that space if you're a player. I mean, Fournette, the D tackle, African name, I can't think of it, like Ndaku or something like that.
Oh yeah,
Ramsey. All those guys had nothing but bad things to say about those people in front of them. So I wouldn't want to work there. So NFL playoffs. All right, so Cleveland, Pittsburgh, man. Let's break this up. Who has the quarterback edge? Cleveland, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh does. I mean, it's Roethlisberger. He's a Super Bowl champ.
He's declined though.
He has declined, but Baker hasn't ascended enough for me to be crazy and go fandom here and pick and make that choice. So it's Roethlisberger.
All right. Defensively, who has the upside? Cleveland or Pittsburgh?
Still Steelers. Still Pittsburgh. They have a ongoing streak of I think like over 75 games. I think it's like up to 77, 78 games straight with a sack. That'll probably continue this weekend because they hold the ball. But their D-line is still one of the best. Minkah Fitzpatrick on the back end. Players like Joe Hayden at corner that still play really well. And, they're definitely the better defense.
I agree. And then and then coaching. Who has the edge?
It's still early for Stefanski. So you got to go Tomlin. Been there, done that. The guy's a great leader of men. But he definitely he's in tune with his team. He's proven that. So and it's like I said, it's early for Stefanski. I think Stefanski's doing a good job and showing his mettle here in his first year. He should be a candidate for a coach of the year, although I don't think he'll win it, but he should be in the category.
TJ Watt.
Yep.
Every time I play Madden, I try to get TJ Watt. I agree with you on all three of those. It definitely looks like Steeler has the edge going into this game, but who you got as the winner?
So this is tough for me, right? Because all that excitement. But I told you I just wanted to be here. I just wanted to make it. The streak is over. You can no longer say it's been 18. Next year you can't say 19 years. I don't have to hear that crap. Out here coming off of a playoff berth. Out here positivity about my squad. So, considering everything that we just talked about, I'm going upset, baby. Upset. Run the ball. Run the freaking football. Keep the game close. Make these dudes throw it over the top.
You had me there for a minute.
Make Roethlisberger throw the deep ball. Let's go upset. Cleveland upset. 24-21. Cleveland upset. On to the next round.
You had me going there for a minute. Yeah. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. You definitely had me going there.
That was a 100% fandom pick.
It's not because Pittsburgh is spiraling out of control.
They really are.
They're spiraling out of control. and like to the point where they had to sit Roethlisberger for a week just so he can get his stuff together. Like the run game hasn't been good all year. Connor hasn't been running the ball. The receivers have stepped up. I give Juju and Claypool. Those are two good 1 and 2 guys. But something's wrong with Ben. I don't know if the cliff hit him week 10, and then it was like, boom. But it's hard to put your finger on it other than him just being old. I don't know. But Ben is a dinosaur. I have to give the edge to, like, I do love Cleveland's front, but Fitzpatrick and TJ Watt, you gotta think that they're gonna put their stamp on this game to help propel them to move forward. So I'm gonna go Pittsburgh by 3. I'm gonna say it's a close game. I'm gonna say it's gonna come down to the wire. But if Cleveland wins, I'll actually be happy. So, but I just
happy for your brother.
Yeah. But just for the sake of picks, I'll pick Pittsburgh by 3.
All right, we got a lot of good talk on here. Ben is a dinosaur. Kobe said it's gonna be close, but Pittsburgh by less than 7. Leonardo Stefanski is building his program as long as personnel is maintained. They can build, but the Steelers are gonna win it. My dad said Cleveland. Got to, baby. And he agrees that Ben is an old dinosaur. I just got to do this one more time. Classic Cleveland before we go into this game. We move on to our next game. But just one time for my city. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. All right, let's get it. All right.
All right, 8:15 p.m. on Sunday. I know where you're.
Prime time. Where I'll be.
All right, let's stick in the AFC. We got Baltimore at Tennessee.
Ooh.
That's another wild card game. That's a rematch from last year's semifinal game, I believe, where Derrick Henry ran that thing on them. Ooh. So Darren said the Steelers shall fall. Okay, I see. It's split out here.
Right.
It's split out here. All right, Ravens, Titans. Who has the quarterback edge?
Ooh. Quarterback edge. Edge goes to Lamar Jackson. Edge goes to Lamar Jackson. And I say edge because Tannehill is the perfect fit for this offense. He not Miami Tannehill. Tannehill in this offense, perfect fit for this offense. He can score with his legs sometimes. He's got big-time receivers, and he makes throws. But run that thing. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. I think Tannehill is the only quarterback that ever proved me wrong on a situation where a guy – are you there? Okay. A guy leaves a team, goes to another team, has a great 1 year, and I'm like, that ain't going to last.
Right.
And like next year he's going to be trash.
Right.
But he didn't. He was still a good serviceable quarterback. And I'm actually going to give the edge to Ryan Tannehill on this because the offense that they run doesn't require him to throw 20, 30 passes.
Right.
You know their game plan, and he runs their game plan to stay in that pocket and just facilitate the ball. Not a lot of turnovers. He don't got to push it down the field too much. He has great rhythm with his receivers. One thing we can't say about Lamar Jackson.
Right.
Defensively, who has the edge?
I'm going to give the defense – man, this is going to be one of the toughest games to pick. I'm going to give the edge defensively to Baltimore. Force a lot of turnovers, hit really hard. Defensive line, linebackers, Queen. Forgot the other guy. But overall, I give them the edge. Tennessee can be soft at times. They don't rush the passer very well. And that's an issue. The Browns exposed them. And they don't stop the run very well either. So Tennessee's tough-minded, but this year it doesn't translate to the field like it did in the past. So I'll give the edge to Baltimore.
Yeah, I'll give them the edge too. They're both that defense is definitely more star-studded. A lot of more names that you know on that defense. Tennessee is just a real – I look forward to having a team like that where they got a system on both sides of the ball. You know what they're going to do, and it works for them. So, Pop, you send me that Browns cap. It'll never get worn. I want you to know. It'll never get worn. But we said Baltimore gets their revenge. Baltimore by a touch. Pittsburgh doesn't blow anybody out by 4. Tannehill will lead his team to victory. All right, coaching edge. Who has the coaching edge?
Coaching edge, I'm going to give it to Harbaugh. Yep, I'm going to give it to Harbaugh. Again, been there, done that. Always has his team prepared. Luke Fickell ain't no – Luke Fickell. My bad. I done named the wrong coach for Tennessee. What's the former?
I know. Yeah, I know.
Mike Vrabel. Yeah. Mike Vrabel, he's no slouch either. Again, you're talking about two teams that represent their coaches very well. One of my issues with Harbaugh this year in Michigan, right? Seeing a team be the mindset of your coach. Like, we play like this guy is set up, and so I think Baltimore gets the edge in coaching because he's been there. He's won these games before. And Leonardo pointed out, I think, or somebody pointed out, the revenge factor. Kobe pointed out, B More gets their revenge. There's a revenge factor there for sure.
Yeah.
Some people think that this Baltimore team right now is actually playing better than they were last year when everybody had them as the favorite.
I don't know. I think last year when they were favorite, offensively they were way more potent.
Yeah.
Defensively they might be a little better. It definitely, like, you got to stop Henry. I agree with you on the Harbaugh tip, and just for the sake of time, we'll just speed it up. But I feel like Tennessee's still gonna pop them. I'm pick Tennessee by 10.
Tennessee by 10. So Henry wins again.
I'm saying Henry wins again. Yep.
Yeah. I think this might be the hardest game to pick, but I think Baltimore gets them this year. Baltimore by 3. Missed field goal by Tennessee at the end of the game.
Oh, yeah, because he's done so much. Yeah, thank Gostkowski. Jesus Christ. All right, last game in the AFC, Indianapolis at Buffalo. Let's just pick it out, right? Who you got?
Buffalo. All friggin' day, man. Listen, Indianapolis got a dog defense, but Buffalo is scary sherry, Doc. Scary sherry.
Listen, listen, you need to DM your boy Vegas and bring him back into the show. You understand me? Congratulations to you, Vegas, because you Josh Allen the hell out of those playoffs. You understand me? He was playing Russell Wilson all year. But as soon as you get to me, here comes Josh Allen. You understand me? Josh Allen put the smackdown on me. He put the smackdown on Rio. And it was just like, it was smooth sailing thanks to Josh Allen. Jesus Christ. If there's a guy that I hate now more than anybody, it's Josh Allen.
Yeah, I just texted him, Dennis. Shout out to Dennis Coleman out in Vegas. That he picked Josh. He put Josh Allen in, and that was raps.
Oh my God, Josh Allen went to work on everybody during the playoffs. So I expect him to keep it going. I know Indianapolis defense is stout, but I'm picking Buffalo. I like them. They're a Cinderella team, but they're really not. I like Buffalo, and you know your boy's gonna throw to the other team.
Philip Rivers giving you 2 this week for sure.
He's definitely giving you 2. All right, NFC, Chicago at New Orleans. Who you got?
Man, New Orleans. That's My boss is a Chicago Bears fan. He said, my team doesn't even deserve to be there.
I don't know how they made it. I feel like there's another NFC. I would rather see Arizona. There was another team that I would rather see in that spot than them. Nobody wants to see the Bears in this situation. Buffalo ain't playing. Buffalo is the team. Everybody's on the Buffalo train. I'm on the Saints train as well. I hope this is a smooth blowout and get Chicago out of here. Then we got Los Angeles Rams at the Seattle Seahawks, another divisional game. Who you got?
I got to go Seattle in this game. Unless Cooper Kupp and Jared Goff are back, because Goff had the thumb. Warford isn't going to get it done. So, yeah. it's more competitive. I think I'm still going to go Seattle, even if the Rams are healthy. Because I got to give Russ one game at least. He got cooked one time.
That defense is for real.
Yes. Oh,
that Rams defense is legit.
Yep.
I like even with golf, I just can't pick them. Even though that, like, you're right, you got to give Russ one. Like Russ is getting out the wild card.
Yes.
Cook him, Russ. But it's just this one is hard for me because the last time, like, Ramsey shut down DK, like absolutely shut him down. I'm gonna go upset here. I'm gonna pick the Rams. If golf plays, plays, I'm picking the Rams.
Okay, all right. That's fair. That's fair.
I respect that defense.
Russ definitely has to go ham though. Dennis, look, Dennis showed up. Dennis, we shouted you out for your. Look at Dre's face.
Josh Allen?
Josh Allen to everybody during the playoffs.
Josh Allen. That's how you feel? You just all of a sudden, hey, here's Josh Allen. Hold this L. 4 weeks straight, Josh Allen. Gotcha. All right.
Congratulations, Dennis, for winning our Academy Sports Show Fantasy Football League with Josh Allen.
Oh man. Kobe says Chicago. What QB? Exactly. Dennis says Seattle. Kobe says Seattle. Dennis says Russ needs to go ham. He does. Like Russ needs some retribution this year, Doc. I mean, come on, man. Chicago say they can just say they made the playoffs. That's a team that can just say we made the playoffs. And that coach can keep his job because he definitely was on the hot seat. Neyros had to go on. Thanks, fellas. Golf is playing, but Russell will figure out a way to win. All right. That the last one? Yep. This is the last game. Tampa Bay at Washington is the last game. That's the 8:15 on Saturday as well. Who you got?
Trash. We're not watching that game.
Why not?
Tampa Bay at Washington. Let me guess, right? Oh, the front four of Washington.
They're scary, bro. They're scary.
Man, it's not even going to – Kobe just said it. It's not even a game, bro. There's way too much happening on the Tampa Bay side of the football. Washington can't score? That defense is going to kill Alex Smith.
They're not. They're not. They're not going to score. It's going to be a shutout.
Oh, it's going to be horrible. Washington, congratulations. You made the playoffs. That's it.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's I don't know.
It's the playoffs. Anything can happen. Yeah, anything can Washington beating Tampa Bay.
Shout out to their front four. That front four took them to the postseason with 7 wins? Yeah. Alex Smith. Just protect his leg. That's all we need.
Please. Just protect. # protect Alex. That's what I'm saying. # protect Alex. Kobe said, you made the playoffs. Now hold this L.
All right. So that's the wild card weekend, man. Saturday, make sure you're in front of the TV at 1:05, Indianapolis at Buffalo, 4 o'clock. Rams at Seattle, 8:15, Tampa Bay and Washington. Sunday, the 1 o'clock game was Baltimore, Tennessee, 4 o'clock is Chicago, New Orleans. And super wild card Wednesday caps off for the 8:15 game, Cleveland at Pittsburgh.
Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Let's go, boys.
Let's
run the ball. Upset.
Nick, hope you're listening to this show right now.
You want to be here Monday if we win. You definitely want to be here if we lose because remember I just want to make the playoffs.
Right.
So imagine how not disappointed I'm going to be.
Right.
If we win.
But if you win in a fashion where you had the game won and then some Cleveland stuff happened and you lose, that's the show you want to watch.
Because you get to see my agony there. You see my pain.
Because you might have an SOL moment. Same old Lions. It might be we was right there. We was right there, Baker. He was right there. All you had to do was run the ball, take a knee, but you threw it down the field, interception.
Oh, please don't let that. Please don't let it be something where we miss, where it becomes another cliche of like another storyline of our storied history of sport. 2021 wild card weekend.
Where were you then?
The dorm.
Oh, all right. Dennis says Steelers by 3. Kobe said your shirts are getting tighter. He's trying to
shut up, Kobe. It's just a workout shirt. I haven't changed since going to the gym.
Derek said, I hope it doesn't come down to a field goal for us. I'll be ready to delete Parkey myself. Ooh, he can feel it.
Parkey was the guy who kicked the doink. Wasn't he the guy that doinked it in Chicago?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. Bob said, Dre, wear Browns gear. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Listen, just because you wear a D hat don't mean that that's the same thing. You ain't wearing Lions gear, so I'm not wearing Browns gear. You understand?
They will never wear Browns gear unless it's Browns Lions in the Super Bowl and we have a bet on the line. And the bet would be loser has to wear the other team's gear.
Yeah. That would be on the situation. Or week 17, if I got to beat you to get in the playoffs, you got to beat me to get in the playoffs.
Right.
It has to be a bet format for me to wear Browns gear. Yeah. I'm not wearing no Browns gear. Browns, Bears, Packers, Vikings, I'm not touching none of them.
You know? All those other teams are NFC North teams, and then they're the Browns.
Yeah. Not touching. All right. So we appreciate you guys listening as always. Thank you so much. If you want to get a hold of us, make sure you share everything. Academy Sports Show, IG, Facebook, and YouTube. We are live on both Facebook and YouTube. So if you share the link, we get more people in the show, more comments. The comments were on fire today. Thank you guys for being a part of the show. Thank you very much. You make the show what it is. And if you get more people in here, it'll be even better. So thank you very much for being a participant on the show today. And we would like to shout out our sponsor, one being Mr. Mike Vaughn's Plumbing. Vaughn's Plumbing, both licensed and insured. Vaughn's Plumbing provides top quality services at great prices. Whether it's just getting up to code, waterproofing, the daily home services, we suggest you call the man.
313-304-7786.
VaughnsPlumbing.com. Gives you a map of all the areas that they service, as well as the services that they provide. I said that already, didn't I?
Yep. You said that right.
All right, whatever. Call the man.
313-304-7786.
That man right there is the real MVP.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate the comments still rolling in. It ain't disrespectful, Dennis. I'm not wearing it. I want you to know I'm not wearing it. Yes, I don't know why we picked him. He played for us before. Parkey.
Jinx. You got to let's wipe it out. Retract. Go against it. We're not going to claim the Cody Parkey curse this weekend. That's not how this is going. We can't put this stuff out there, y'all. This is how it goes as a Cleveland fan. I'll be here on Monday in agony talking about we shouldn't have said it. If we lose, just flat lose, I'll be fine.
Okay with that.
If we had it and we lost it in Cleveland style, then we got to be the same old Browns. But if we win, you might have to give me some time on
that. All the time you need, bro. All the time you need. Anything else on your chest before we go? That's it, man. Appreciate everybody. Like Dre said, thanks for joining us tonight. We got in, got out. Nice, quick show. We got to go be adults. Please join us, man, next week. We in our wheelhouse now. We got playoffs, baby. Every Monday we got something to talk about. The NFL is in full swing now. This is our favorite time of the year. It's happening. It's playoff time, so you definitely want to join us every week. If you listen to us out in podcast land too, you can see us live, YouTube, at Academy Sports Show every Monday night, 7 o'clock live. Join us, comment. We'll talk to you, let you jump in, bring your topics like we addressed it tonight, and we will say what we got to say. Yes, it's going to be close. Thanks for showing up either way because the reaction is going to be classic. But I think that's it on behalf of myself. At JWillow2, this is my guy right here at Dre _on air. Appreciate you guys. See you next week. Here we go.
Brownies. Here we go.